What are you searching for? Maybe you've been looking at the lives of others, or even better, looking at the life of Jesus, and you've been pointing the hand at God and been like, Father, why am I not looking like him? Why is my fruit different? Why do I smell different? I want to tell you a story. And you've heard this story before, but I'm going to tell it to you today differently. There was once a wedding, and at this wedding, Jesus was there. And he was residing as a guest at this wedding, but there was an issue. The wine was drying up. The fruit was drying up. And Jesus' mother came and said, Lord Jesus, I need you to make a plan here. We've got an issue. And she gave him servants and told the servants, let do whatever he tells you. Whatever he tells you, you obey and you do. And Jesus continues and he says, all right, fine. Go to the pots, the pottery, the jars that you have here where you always put your wine in, and go and fill them with water to the brim. And the servants, they look at each other and they probably think something along the lines of, so are we going to now serve this place with water instead of wine? But they shrug their shoulders and they walk up to the jars and they take the water and they fill the jars with the water, shaking their heads, but they're filling it to the brim. And as soon as that water level hits the brim, guess what? They change into wine. The water changes into wine. And they continue and they serve the wine at this wedding. And there's something incredible in this that I want you to see. You see, when Yeshua was hanging on that cross, he was struck. And when he was struck by the guard, there was water that poured out of him, right? So his body poured out with water. And now Yeshua at this wedding is saying, go and fill these pottery jars with water. We know that jars represent people. Me and you, represented by jars. And so Yeshua basically is telling his servants, his teachers, the people who represent the gospel, go into these people and fill them with me. Fill them with my body. Let them eat and drink of me. And so they fill these jars, and the moment they reach the brim, the fullness, suddenly there is a miracle. A supernatural work where the water now changes into wine. And guess what? Wine is fruit. The moment that they're filled to the brim, they start representing good fruit. And so today I want to tell you that yes, you may not be carrying the good fruit that you want to be carrying, but I want to tell you why. You are not being filled to the brim. You see, if the servants went and they took the water and they filled those jars halfway, and maybe they were like, okay, maybe we can just tamper with this water. Maybe we can just, the second half of that jar, maybe we can just put in some of the wine there. It's going to be watery, but at least it's going to be wine. You see, the servants could have gone and done that. They could have gone and made their own plan. A lot of times we make our own plan, but Yeshua said, no. You do what I say. You fill these jars to the brim with plain water. With me. You know what? That water doesn't taste as good as wine initially. But when it's filled to the brim, it changes everything. It will change the very being of the substance of that fluid. It will change the very being of you. And see, when you eat and drink of him, you will bear good fruit. But you need the fullness of him. You see, what we do today is we fill a bit of him. We take a little bit of that water, just a little bit of Yeshua, and then the rest we fill with TV, with girls, with pornography, with all kinds of other distractions. Everything except him. But I had a little bit of him, so that's fine, isn't it? You see, friend, until you fill yourself to the brim, you will never see the fruit you're supposed to see, and you will design to hold. You were designed with a certain capacity, and God has designed you from top to bottom to bear everything that he has to offer. But if you are not going to fill yourself with everything he has to offer, you're going to fill yourself with other things, guess what? You're not going to bear the fruit that you have been made to offer this world. So go and fill yourself with him. to the brim, no more excuses. Then you will see good fruit.